Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 9:56 on the 6th of September 2024. It's a beautiful morning this morning. I woke up at 7:30, so I actually got to sleep in a bit because I've been waking up rather inconveniently and astonishingly around 6 or 7, but I think yesterday it was 6. And that really messes with my vibe because I've never been an early riser, and it means I have the whole day stretching ahead of me, and it gets weird, people, because I get tired later in the afternoon. My energy jumps through, falls through my boots, and then I get a bit kind of hypomanic when I'm overtired. So yesterday was interesting. I thought my video and my musings smack bang in the middle of my last video, reading The Last Unicorn, was a bit almost bordering on psychosis. But however, I have to go with that. Whatever comes out of my mouth and whatever I'm emoting is meant to be. And I can't edit my videos anyway. So, and sometimes it's funny, and I go back over them sometimes months later and go, I can't believe you said that, Tanya. I can't believe you said that in a public forum out loud. Everyone's going to think you're crazy, Tanya. And you know what? After being told I was stupid and crazy since infancy, I don't give a flying fuck what anyone thinks of me. So, as you can probably tell by my videos. So it has its benefits in that it frees me to be my authentic self. And the drawbacks are, of course, the terrible fear that I'll be rejected and abandoned by people that I perceive as friends or potential lovers. And, and it happens. It happens. And then after it happens, I just go, oh, there you are. You were always going to do that anyway, regardless of how I presented or showed up in the world, because that's the nature of the beast, am I right? Male, female, makes no difference. So while I've been anticipating the shoe to fall, the shoe never really quite fell, but I kind of kicked the boot off and held it high into the heavens and watched it plummet into the abyss. So I'm laughing about that too, because it's what I do. It's what I do when I sense that things are not quite as they should be, or that I'm being deceived in some small or large way. And sometimes I sort of sit on it for a while thinking, am I paranoid? I'm not getting all the information. Something's not quite right. And when people won't communicate with me openly and honestly, that's when my radar really starts twanging and off we go. So it is what it is, but it means that I'm, yet again signed up for a life of, isolation and marginalisation and loneliness. And it is what it is. But perhaps it was always so, and, this frottering and teasing and titillating and stirring up the old mama tea was just yet another psychosexual game where they get to walk away thinking, haha, got it good. Meanwhile, little do they know, the Tanya just, prosaically just shrugs it all off and keeps dancing. And one day, my king to my queen will come and make all the lost boys that have been cruel and infantile look very silly indeed. Just saying. But that's Big Mama Britches talking, because we all know there is no king coming to be king to my queen, because I'm nobody and nothing, and I came with nothing and I'll go with nothing. I came into this planet kicking and screaming and naked and, cold, and I'll probably go out the same way. Maybe not naked, but, you feel me, don't you? So I'm not going to sweat the small stuff or worry about, men having their own little quiet little crises, and because the times are weird, and quite frankly, all my beloved ones, all my friends, male, female, apart from the ones like me who don't work, like my friend Lynn, but everyone else is worked half to death and out of their minds. So I'm not surprised that they are, they're having their strange little microcosmic, macrocosmic actings out, you know, because I would too. I act out when I'm overtired and stressed and have too much work on my hands, and ironically, I don't get paid for my labours. Yet again, another thing I lose at. But however, I am provided for, you know, with a roof over my head and just barely enough money to put food on the table and pay the bills. So I am grateful and I'm satisfied. And I've been giving and giving and giving so much lately in recent weeks, striving to attain a feeling of, I guess, a measure of success, to no avail. And I kind of even have to laugh about that. Life, l'chaim is such a game. And, you know, the only way to win a game is not to play. But because I've tried to get off that chessboard from time to time, I need to be vomited back by the gods. I guess I'll be here doing my dance and writing my writings and musing and making my YouTube videos for as long as the gods allow me to, you know, maintain my mental vigor and my health and my capacity to remain in this hobbit body, am I right? So it's all good. It's all good. In the broad scheme of things, it's all just a play. Shakespeare had it right after all. And on we go with my memories of 6th of September 2023. Whew, it's hot in here. I don't know why it's so hot in here. Excuse the view of my armpit. It's not pretty, but anyway, it's an armpit. It works. It serves its purpose. I don't know what its purpose is other than to hold my arm attached to my shoulder. Ezekiel's dry bones were connected up in the dry valley of the shadow of death, but they got up and they walked again, and so did I, babies. Many, many times. So that's why I'm a bit weird, people of Earth. You die as many times as I have in one incarnation, you'd be a bit feckin' weird too. Trust me on that. Your weirdness might not quite emulate my weirdness. You might be a whole level of different kind of weird. But either way, to my fellow shaman friends who understand what I'm putting down right now, babies. Anyway, today's title is My Lucky Day is Here Again. Thank you, Auntie Lottie, who was my mother's best friend in Germany. However, I have since found out that the 6th of September was also, rather astonishingly, the birthday of my biological aunt. Well, she was a half-sister to my mother. Different mothers, same biological father. They weren't raised together. And that aunt died in an air shelter bombing in Germany in 1943. Horrific death, basically being incinerated to death inside the air shelter. So I've since found out that that was her birthday. So I always thought my lucky day was on account of my Auntie Lottie, who was extremely generous to my mother and myself growing up, very generous. But unbeknownst to me, it is also my aunt, Greta Petula's birthday. So, of course, I never met that young woman since she perished in 1943, and I was not born till 1965. But I'm thinking perhaps, just perhaps, there's no verifiable evidence that it's true, she might be one of the ancestors that love me, that makes sure that the 6th of September is always a jovial, happy, loving, lucky day for me. Sometimes just lucky and sometimes loving. I mean, it's a mixed bag how it manifests, am I right? But I always look forward to the 6th of September because every year, without fail, and certainly in the last 10 years or so, something wonderful has happened on that day. And mind you, they came in a bit early. I think it was the 31st of October, I'm not sure now, when the kookaburra blessed me by whacking chicken over my head and showering me with chicken. And then I had two lucky things happen not long after that, with the Ethicon case being resolved and being told that I was going to get a small amount of compensation, and the long wrangling with Optus being resolved. And yes, so maybe they came in a little bit early, because time is flubbery even from the spirit world. It can be tweaked if you're an angel or spirit, unlike us mortals who have to walk through it day by day, moment by moment, one foot in front of the other, stolidly treading to our ultimate transitioning from one form to another. So, but we sometimes can tweak time too. Like, have you noticed that when you're madly in love with someone and they're madly in love with you, and it's genuine, like genuine, real, true love, how a passionate kiss can make time stop, and that kiss can seem to last forever, even though, depending on dedicated they are to the smooching, it might only go on for 5 minutes. Am I right? Well, you have to laugh. You have to laugh. All that time when, as happened to me when I was watching a truck sliding into me and I was waiting to be killed by it, that millisecond of time that stretched out like a thin red line, and I thought, I'm fucked. But time stopped. I've witnessed time overlap itself and sometimes reconnect like a coiling serpent and carry on with its journey, taking me with it, whether I wanted to participate in that or not. So time and I, it's why I don't wear a watch. I haven't worn a watch for 30 years. Time and I kind of stand back and look at each other and nod politely, just the same way that I have that relationship with Lady Death. Time and Lady Death kind of are cousins too. Eventually they get you in the end, babies, but don't worry, because it's the eternal cycle of life, and you just carry on in another form. However, Mama T's carried on in this existence, kind of another form in a way, because, the first time I almost died, I was a very, very young child and had a totally different body. Wasn't a short, fat hobbit then. I was short because I was under tall, because I was growing and I was a child, but you know what I mean. I've worn many cloaks and discarded more skins and more cloaks than you can even dream of. But then, I guess, so has any human. We've thrown off a few mantles, some of us, in our day, and and we've donned a new raiment and even sometimes a whole new identity, and we've gotten older and our faces have changed, and that fucking crease on my forehead's gotten deeper and actually looks swollen and puffy all the time because of that horrible rhinoceros mask I have to wear on my fucking face at night. So I'm getting uglier and uglier and uglier and older, and my chances for true love are ever more diminishing. And so I'm kind of panicking about that, to be honest, a little bit, because time is sliding away, and I want what I want, darling, with harm to none and competition from or with none. Meh. Anyway, the gods decree. I find it deeply amusing that my urologist wanted me to have Botox, 12 injections, injected into my bladder every 6 months. And I joked with her. I said, I don't need it in my bladder. I need to fill this fucking crease in my head. And even she kind of laughed. I mean, you have to. I'm realistic, It's like, who's going to pay to fix my crease? Looks like I looked at it this morning and I thought, you look like a giant asshole. Look at that. Look, if I push it together, it goes, it's ugly. Oh, who's going to love me now? But my hair looks great. My hairdresser said, right, she says, we won't have any of that. We'll make you look beautiful. And she threw me back into the fray. I love you, Kylie. You're a wonderful woman who loves Mama T for no reason except for my weird and bizarre stories and my attitude and my asshole of a face. Be careful what you wish for. Didn't plan when I came into this planet of looking like a wrinkled old crone, but comes to us all eventually. Comes to us all. Does it not, Charlie? She says, I didn't plan when I came to this planet of being a birdie that pulls out all her feathers and neurotic and obsessed with a woman named Tanya. But here it is. Here it is, Mama T. It's all happening in a far out birdie num num rainbow lorikeet way. Yes, it is. Anyway, we carry on. We'll get serious now. Let's be serious. Rein in my excitedness and anticipation and ebullience, and continue with my readings. Wollongong, Mount Warning. This is as close as I have ever been. According to Aboriginal law, only men are permitted to climb it. That means it's bad luck if women climb it, or some kind of curse happens, or some misfortune. But really, someone explained to me it's merely just practical because it's a very dangerous mountain to climb. But there you have it. But yes, always find out before you go tripsing around in the bush or the outback and wanting to climb things. Always ask the elders or the local Aboriginal people of that particular region what are specific for men and what are specific for women. Because if you don't, as a white person with no knowledge of their magic or their knowledge of the land and the lakes and the billabongs, you can sign up for a whole world of trouble. You know, there's certain lakes, can't remember which ones, but there's ones where only men can swim. If a woman even just puts a foot in it, she gets dragged down and drowns. And by the same token, there's little lakes and billabongs where only women can swim, and if men go in, they sign up for a whole world of trouble too. And like, how would you know unless you're raised in that culture and educated with the law? How would you know that? You would have no clue. So, and I guess history over time would bear out this myth or this kind of weird magic that, you know, if it consistently keeps happening, it can't be an accident, you know. There's no accidents in the universe. If things keep being, you know, the way they are, it's the way they are, says she who's trying to break her curse of unrequitedness and unavailable and sadistic men. But I was promised that in my 60th year, you know, I would find true love. So, look, I'm only, what the fuck, May, June, July, August, September. In 6 days, I'm 5 months into my 60th year. So, babies, I've got 7 months to go to meet this wonderful man who actually adores me, cherishes me, and chooses to be with me. 7 months. Oh, that's a lot of pressure, isn't it? But then, by that time, in 7 months' time, I will have been on the CPAP for 9 months. Oh, dear goddess. Christ on a bike. But I'll know by then if I'm going to be well enough to have, you know, some kind of a wonderful love life with a man who chooses me and I choose him with equal passion and dedication and, you know, respect and awe and admiration. So I will know if I'm going to stay healthy enough or if I'm going to decline into my ultimate demise. I will know. I will definitely know by then. 9 months. They said it'll take 6 to 12 months, so it's kind of the halfway point between those two. I will know. I hope I will know. What if I don't know? Ah, small violin. Sometimes not knowing is a very good thing too. What you don't know, you can't get upset about. But I don't like not knowing and being lied to and deceived or living in denial, even in my own brain, you know, my own body, mind, spirit. So I will know. I will know. The gods will make sure I know. I have spoken. Thank you, gods. Anyway, I'm getting a dry throat again. 2nd of September 2023. Today is a beautiful day. I feel in an altered state after days of tummy issues. Oh, bejesus. Too much dairy and an onion dip I thoroughly enjoyed, but my gut rejected. Tanya Aarons, no onions and no garlic and no dairy. That was a suicidal ideation just on its own right there. Silly, silly woman. I need to drive to my psych for my debrief later. I just feel hollowed out and kind of woolly in the head, exhausted too. Also, the underlying grief over Beauregard is still gnawing at my spirit. Today is a day I will be gentle with myself, I think. I had a message via Wikitree. I can't stand that program. Oh, it's so hard to navigate. From a cousin's daughter stating they wish to get in touch with me. I guess I will wait and see what they want. It's probably just a scammer too. I got hold of my cousin. Apparently the other cousin's daughter got in touch with me as her father is very sick at the moment. I hope he is okay. No, he wasn't. He died. I think he died in April too. Brain tumour. Fucking exploded everywhere. I'm livid. You know why I'm livid, don't you? Turbo cancer. I also debriefed with my psychiatrist about the escalation of threat and harassment in my Brisbane music scene. I had, not long before left the Treasury Casino because of their nastiness. I told him it was something out of a horror movie, Them. He recommended I bring a witness with me, dancing. That would make it hard for anyone to attack me. Also, to keep making my videos to expose what is going on as a protective device. Very handy that. At least when I say something, you've heard it from my mouth, not third hand or fourth hand from other people slandering and lying and twisting my words. The truth remains the truth no matter how many times you cut and slice it and dice it and dissect it. At its core, it is always the truth. I told him if I should suddenly disappear from now into the future, that I am not actively suicidal, so he will need to ask questions as to what happened to me. I told him I've also told my two best friends this. My psych asked me if I was going to stop going dancing. I said, no. No one has the right to prevent me from enjoying live bands and my usual practice of dancing. I have done no harm to anyone, nor been malicious to anyone, but have simply continued to dance and protect my own body integrity and body autonomy. I will not let sadists and psychopaths stop me from living my best life. Not now, not ever. September 2022, 11:11 p.m. Crystal finally replied about half an hour ago. She will come look through the artworks when I am better, she says, meaning when she is better. She has been in and out of hospital and had an emergency surgery which failed. She did not elucidate what that was. So, not good. She demanded an apology, and I said it is her who owes me one for her epic viciousness last time we communicated 6 weeks ago. Bit of a pattern there, because same thing from September last year too. Oh! I told her I cannot allow any more cruelty from my kids. So there is that. Stalemate. Nothing new under the sun. Unfortunately, there is not. At least I know she is alive, albeit has been seriously ill, which is not good. Don't wish that on her. Absolutely do not wish that on her or anyone. I spent the evening photographing every painting, drawing and 2 books written and illustrated by Jasmine. Also all of Crystal's art. I have kept them all and cherished them for over 30 years. Dragged them through every house move. It's time to declutter my life. I sent them all to Crystal so she can choose which of her baby artworks she wants to keep. Jasmine will want her books, no doubt, so I will keep them for her. I think I ended up giving them to Crystal to give to her in the end. Jasmine's got no intention of ever coming near me ever again. Whatever. Late tonight, Crystal replied that I owe her an apology. This is the delusions they labour under, that I somehow owe them apologies. For what? For struggling to raise them on my own and deep fucking poverty while being constantly traumatised. I don't owe them shit. All I owe them is, what any mother owes is general worry and care over her kids, which I still do to this day, by the way. And, blessings that they have a life of happiness and true loving partners and maybe even children one day, although that's very unlikely at this late stage of life now. I mean, Crystal's 39 in November, plus this. Jesus. But I don't know them. I don't know them anything more. I've given and given and given to them, including, part of my small inheritance. I don't owe them squat. So, and they owe me apologies. Very, very big apologies, from which, after Jasmine's long estrangement, won't mean shit, because she left me, abandoned me, 15 years ago or so. I can't even remember exactly. I think it was 2011 was the last time I saw her, so that was 13 years ago. And I can't deal with their level of narcissism and psychopathology either. I just can't. I was raised by one like that. It's absolutely devastating to me that both my daughters have acquired those traits, and not just acquired them, but switched them on and highlighted them to the nth degree. That kind of only really kicked in, the narcissism, when along came this, which I find kind of intellectually interesting, actually, how it brought out their worst aspects. But what can I say? We've all been altered as a species, all of us. It's terrifying. So I don't even hate them or have any antipathy about that. I'm just well aware that brought out the narcissism that was already innate in them because of our bloodlines, and made them cruel and a bit sadistic, and, well, fuck that shit. I'd rather be alone and die alone than be surrounded by people who are ugly and hateful to me. Seriously. Much preferable. Because I already lived like that for 6 years or so. More I lived like that. I'm 59 now. Where did I get 36 years from? Oh, that's the time that I've lived in Brisbane. No, it's more than that. I've lived it. I've lived the narcissistic, rat race and their flying monkeys. Right up until, I was 47 when my mother's will dispute finally ended. On today's date, by the way, when I finally got my inheritance. So, there you go. Interesting. So really, I've only been free of that evil bullshit for 12 years, and I had other evil bullshit manifest in that 12-year period as well. That's why I'm very, very gun shy and wary of any more bullshit. Seriously. Late tonight, Crystal replied, oh yeah, we read that. I'll finish it, that I hear an apology. I do not. It was her that was vicious last time. We communicated about 6 weeks ago, but she told me she's been in and out of hospital for the past 6 weeks and had emergency surgery which failed. Not good. She didn't say what the surgery was for. I hope it wasn't a complication of COVID. A great worry. Well, I have my suspicions what caused that, but I can't really speak to it because I can't prove it medically, but it's one of the manifestations of that event flaring up in people's bodies. Weird cysts and fucking cancers and all sorts of shit has been going down. Well documented. So I'm not lying. I never lie. A tiny Shehekianu, first grape hyacinth of the season. Here's my friend the kookaburra sitting on the tree. He's a beautiful boy. He's a beautiful boy, that bird. He truly is. I was talking to little Lachlan, but felt someone watching me. I turned my head and then there was this guy looking on. Gorgeous. Little Lachlan was my former neighbours that have since moved away. 6th of September 2021, 3:13 a.m. Been awake since 1 a.m. I might attempt sleep again. Oh, here's Cookie now. We're just talking about you, Kookaburra. Wonderful, calm night, and in spite of everything, I am happy. Good morning, good night. This was a very magical experience, a powerfully magical experience. Here's me. This was at Springbrook. Clambering over a fallen old tree trunk. Looking part fairy myself, if I say so myself. Here's me underneath the trunk of that tree and where the former root system used to be, playing with this golden light that came streaming from the top of the tree through a hole. And this is what we witnessed, Jared and Crystal and I. I got inspired because I saw that golden light and I just knew, it was Faye. I just knew it. So in my head I said, may I have permission to approach and play with your light? And I didn't get a yes and I didn't get a no. So I went in, and look, this is all the astonishing things that we saw. If you look carefully, don't know if it'll come up on the... It's my friend Jared. Here's the light streaming down into his hands, spilling over his hands. But look here closely. I don't know if you can pick it up with, coming up on my iPhone on the screen. But there's a little old man looking down at him as if to say, what are you doing? It's delightful. I had a wee chat to that just determined spirit. There were a lot more photos which are up on my Instagram, on my Titania's Realm page, that I haven't posted up on Vocal Media, but there were a lot of other spirits, and also pareidolia, like faces in the bark that look like real little faces. It was the most magical moment of our lives, I think. Anyway, let me continue on. I had a wee chat to that determined spirit that never leaves me for his own agendas, talking about David Davidson here. I told him how our love had been twisted and misconstrued and had become a fetid thing. How I had almost died for him because of him, all the while striving to keep myself and my children safe, alone, without support or resources. He reminded me how he helped me collect my father from the airport, and one time came to lunch with me with his 2 little boys. It was a nice lunch, actually. I was so nervous and anxious. I was off the Richter scale with anxiety. I was so in love with that man. I don't know why. He was a psychopath. Tried to kill me. But anyway, life goes on, does it not? He had not imagined in his wildest dreams the battle I was enduring with my toxic family of origin, my threatening former boyfriend and his sister and boarders, my workplace, my very soul. It was easier to deem me mad than deal with the very real domestic terrorism I was barely surviving on a daily basis. 18 months of it. 18 months being threatened daily, and Queensland Police did nothing. I could have been one of the statistics of women and children murdered in our beds. It was that bad. Anyway, life goes on, babies. Life fucking goes on until it doesn't. At one time, my asthma was so bad and the trauma and grief so hefty that I fully expected to die through the night. So like a fool, I rang him and told him how much I loved him on my very laboured, short breaths. He thought I was trying to manipulate him, but my heart was always true, always. In the spirit world, he saw that now, but it's too late, too late. I thought I would never love a man again, and in truth I did, but differently, so differently. But yet again, each partner toyed with my brave and beautiful heart like it was a lab rat, kicked or stained or cut it, and yet again I grew me back. Each time so horrifically broken that I became the zombie and barely existed in my own body. My body that betrayed me with mortal appetites, cleaving to its biology and yearning to be loved to the point of its own deconstruction. But after the last unrequited love affair, long unrequited love affair, 8 years, I prayed to the gods to heal me and help me monetize my gifts, as I cannot exist on bare subsistence anymore. I simply cannot exist in this paradigm. 22nd of August 2015 taught me I am not allowed to die, not yet. I was downloaded while languishing on the border between life and death in a white fog for hours, quietly observing the spirits in that waiting room of death busily preparing for my crossover. But I was sent back to this vessel with my ever-broken but resilient and stoic heart, redolent with hope, that gilded hag. Dear Goddess. Then to be confronted with David's haunting in early June 2016 and the loss of so many precious pets, and my near death again after the gallbladder surgery on 25th of June 2019, and another event again recently on the night of the 10th and the 11th of July 2024, after, which is 6 nights into starting CPAP. I thought I was fucked that night too, by the gods. I thought I was cactus. And yet here I am, soldiering on as I do every day in every way. When on my last long exhalation, I was told I was being sent back again. But I will be living in what feels like a hell of epic proportions, and will need to cleave to my truth and my own intuitions to keep myself safe as never before. They told me they had tested my true heart and found me worthy of the challenge to live out my life in much needed peace, love and light. And so it is, and always will be. My grief and rage has cost me 2 organs now, my uterus and my gallbladder. But I have fought back for my much needed joy, and peace. David says he is my protector. Interesting, since I once bound him to protect myself from him and our extraordinarily unholy love. So, no, protect me then, with the benevolence of the Holy One who knew you were never an angel. Tu n'es pas un ange, laughing my ass off. That's a song by Edith Piaf. You are not an angel. It's a wonderful song, actually. Another fucked up man who put himself in the White Knight but was actually a fucking homicidal monster. It's why I don't trust white knights to this day, babies. No offence to those who meant well, but it's immediately something I distrust because I lived it. I've lived it for decades. I'm going to heal you, Davidson used to say. Get off the psych meds. I'm going to fix you. I'm going to heal you. No, said he put his fucking hands on my throat. Tried to rape me. Slandered and backstabbed me to my Jewish community. Colluded with my evil mother and her con-man boyfriend and later husband. It cost me my inheritance. But don't worry, babies, he was healing me. Do I look fucking healed to you by that monstrosity? If I am healed, it's because I fought back every fucking inch of the way. But in my very complicated path with my complex trauma, there is still enough love, even for you, the stalker, dead. One who would not love me enough in life. I let you go over the many years, and still you fly to my side and demand my attention via a medium friend. It was astonishing. In that, you are very like my mother. Pernicious. However, I am older now, and I know the power of my spirit and the power of my deep, deep, truest love, and how even in this paradigm, size, one I love also cycles past me every 2 to 3 months, also unable to let me go, while, like you, Davidson, trawling his latest conquests before me like dead rat trophies to a vixen queen. And I agonize internally, then sharpen my claws and wipe my brow and gather my dignity and my strength, as cruel and capricious gods gifted me this life. But I have potent angels and wise ones that carry me on high and lay me down in sweet meadows and sing my soul home, who gift me beautiful, soulful, loyal friends who delight in my joys and small triumphs as I delight in theirs. Yesterday, my beautiful friend, who turned toxic very early in the piece, to my astonishment, played her crystal singing bowl for me, and the intensity of the upper octaves resonated through my entire body, and I felt the beauty and power of all the Sephirot as activated by the glass manufactured from the sands of our earth and the coherence of time and space. I looked into her eyes and declared, wow. For we are gifted beyond mortal imagination when we connect via light and music, resonance, vibration, and love, and yes, glory. I feel honoured and blessed and loved. I am grateful and encouraged to continue on my walk, fearlessly free to be me. Love is the law, and all around us love. Know it, seek it, and learn to wrangle it like the Ouroboros chasing its tail, his tail, creating eternity with each and every breath, each and every opening and closing of the magic within, holding space for new loves and new revelations, and knowing that even our bodies hold their own wisdom in our perfected designs. There are miracles when we believe in our own light and truth and value. Everything is connected in all dimensions. Even that lost and spiteful, dangerous lover man cannot go forth without my tenderness and my forgiveness. Oi. So here we have it. Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. But everything has its season, and its fecund blossoming followed by detritus and decay. And from the total destruction and annihilation, new growth forces its way through, and so we begin the begin again. Smiley face. Yes, we do, my darlings. Never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. At the darkest point before the dawn, the sun will always rise and shine for you, my babies. I love you. I see you. I know whom you are. Be well. Be safe. Be all you can be and more, with harm to none and competition from none. Own your own talents, gifts, abilities and attributes, and shine, my beautiful souls. Shine bright. Open your hearts and minds to life and let her work through you. Trust in your gods of your understanding. Walk in light and peace and truth. Hold yourself precious, as no one will ever be exactly the same as you, and we are all okay. Blessed be the Holy One, source of all life, manufacturer of souls and of love eternal. Amen. Visala. Then I posted the song, remastered. Those were the days. Layers upon layers of meaning even in that song. 6th of September 2020. I had a lovely time at West End Drumming Circle, marred only slightly by stalking by a former woman friend who was driving towards my house just as I was driving out. Weird. I was not quite sure at first, but as I drove past we made eye contact. She looked rather triumphantly mischievous. I just felt creeped out, so kept on driving. Then on the way home from West End, I'm pretty sure I saw an ex-lover who constantly likes the Drumming Circle page, acting as though he intends to attend but rarely turns up. More mischievous schoolboy behaviour, but mindless and harmless. Driving across Boundary Road at the intersection towards me. This time I had to keep my head screwed on tight. After all, that seems paranoid, laughing my ass off. Except last time the same little game was played, and I doubted my own vision and sanity then too. I wonder when I will stop picking up friendships with satanic, sadistic, odd little imps and actually engage with authentic, good people. But I'm being hard on myself. I did have a lovely time with Margot and Dave and their dear, sweet little daughters on Friday. So I do have good people in my life. It just astounds me, though, how the shades and sadists and trickster spirits from the past still follow me around or turn up uninvited to my home. What do they hope to achieve by that ridiculous, unwarranted, undesirable behaviour? It borders on obsession on their part. What have I ever done to merit this much obsession indeed? What have I done? Stayed alive? Grown old and wise? A little bit sexy in my old age too? I guess that's enough, isn't it? All you have to do as a woman is draw breath and exist for some weird ass motherfucker to get obsessed with you. Obsession is as obsession does, but I reject obsessions. I need healthy, equal, life-affirming, heart-centered, open-hearted, open communication, loyal, faithful, devoted, but not obsessed. Romantic, passionate love partnership. Ow, Charlie! Not game players and tricksters and demons and liars and fuck me. It's too much. But I am loved by people who matter. The rest don't matter at all. Come here, Charlie. Come here, Charlie. I have told both these individuals to fuck off out of my life permanently in no manner in which that they could possibly misinterpret. Yet still this keeps happening. Yesterday I felt fatigued and dizzy. I have had dizzy spells for over a week now. I've noticed yesterday the dizziness was less, and today I'm not dizzy anymore. I'm feeling a little bit kind of woolly, but that's more from fatigue because I did a lot of videos yesterday, and I'm feeling kind of not dizzy, not profoundly dizzy like I've been feeling, but just kind of fey, just kind of a little bit, a bit woolly in the head. But the dizziness is leaving me. I wonder if that's because of the B12 shot, because it didn't work. It didn't seem to work on Monday, Tuesday. What's today? Friday. So it didn't really. It's supposed to work immediately, and I didn't really notice an improvement until yesterday, really, which was Thursday. So 3 days later. So anyway, let's hope that the dizziness goes away, because that's been awful, really awful, quite debilitating. And yes, I think I need to go back to the dentist, because I think that tooth is dying, and that could be causing dizziness too when you have an infection in your mouth. But I don't have any pain. But I flossed today, which I don't usually floss, which I know is naughty. But I gave a good flossing, and I could feel it's all kind of 3 teeth are like all kind of brittle and sensitive. So I guess that might be the cause, which means I have to go back to the RBH, to the teaching hospital at Hurston, and they just kind of fob me off all the time, really. Anyway, something will have to be done with that. The last time I saw it was paid for by a voucher, very good private dentist, and she said that to keep an eye on it, it might go. So I think that's what's wrong. I think it's dying, or has died. My teeth often die without me even realising sometimes. Had that happen more than once. So yes, anyway, it's enough whinging about my dental health issues, but yes, I'm feeling moderately better, so maybe the B12 kicked something into gear, or maybe it's just mind over matter, because by the gods, I worked hard yesterday. I worked through all of those videos intrepidly, like a sailor lashed to a mast. Oh dear God, it's Charlie. That was a big one. She's watching me clean up her poo with great interest. Wow, as Rati says, you're alive, Charlie. Very much alive. Anyway, continue on. Yesterday, I felt fatigued and dizzy. I've had dizzy spells for over a week now. So this has been going on and off for some time, because I wrote that in 2020. Feckin' 4 years ago. Oh, but Jesus. Anyway. They won't do anything. They're just waiting me out to die. That's what it's come down to. So I stay alive and do my wild dance, just if no other reason than to piss off my government. I told that to the contractor that came to fix the stairs, and he just smiled. I said, they want my house and land. I said, sell it off to developers and mow down all the trees and rape the land and put some monstrosity on it. I said, I'm staying alive for no other reason, to protect and preserve the space. He just smiled. He just went, sounds crazy to the uninitiated, but I don't want my trees murdered for some greedy developer. Why should they suffer? We're just going to go and wash this cloth because there's too much poo, and it's just not even cleaning it with so much, by the gods. Yucky, 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 yucky. Yuck, 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 yuck. As you can see, this is my bathroom. Let's put this down. Here's my toilet. There's my shower. I made it with mermaid curtain.